terms of getting that down pat this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, we're comfortable playing in tight games. We've been doing that throughout the year, and whether it's one goal, two goals, whatever, down a couple, we've got confidence in our game that we can win different ways. And as you said, obviously, this time of year the games get tighter, and every point matters for every team in the hunt and trying to jostle for position in the playoffs. So, obviously we need to continue to be good in those close games, and often it's little details that make the difference one way or the other, special teams. So just continue to be sharp in all areas of our game.
The suggestion that you guys are winning in different ways, which you clearly are, how have you added that element to be able to, win it with goaltending, win it with your structure, win it with the power play, win it with your defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think good teams find a way to win. I know that's a classic saying and cliche, but I really feel it's true. Obviously, it's an 82-game season, and you're not going to have every game's going to look a little bit different. You're not going to have your A game every night. Other teams are going to play well, or lots of variables come into play. So finding different ways to win, I think, is key. You see that in the playoffs as well. I think something we've added to our game this year is that structural component where we are comfortable winning low-scoring games, and we can rely on our structure to do that. But we also have the ability in games that break open or special teams nights to try and win in those areas as well. So I think it's just all good teams want to be able to shut out the other team and play the perfect game, but it doesn't always happen. And so finding different ways to win is key in this league for sure.
Josh, when you first came up, I think St. Louis was noted for playing a pretty heavy type of game. I don't know, if that's still the case or not. But what would you think is the key to your success against St. Louis over the last 3.5 years or so? I mean, you're 10-1-1 against the Blues in the last 12 meetings.
I think to the first part of your question, I still think they've got guys over there that play physical and play a heavy game. The Central Division still always has that element to it in my view, but I think the league in general has changed since, not that I've been in the league forever, but even in my 8 years, I think there's been a bit of a shift in the league. It's obviously the young guys coming up, it's guys can skate, everyone can skate, and there's probably, I don't know this stat for sure, but it feels like, their bottom six of teams' lineups can look a little bit different sometimes than they did my first couple of years. So that's the best I could answer the first part of your question. But, obviously we talk about points being huge against Central Division opponents and how much they matter, with the way the playoff structure is and trying to get in. So, I'm not really too concerned with, our last record against them. They're a good team. They're a few points out of a playoff spot right now, and we know they're going to be at their best tonight. So, it's nice that we've been able to get some points against them in the past, but tonight's a new game, and the past doesn't matter.
Sometimes when goal scorers score goals, it makes a little bit of a difference for them. You being one of the top playmakers on this hockey club, when you're on a roll like you are right now with helping to enable, does it change things at all for you, or are you still playing pretty much the same way?
Yeah, the league's funny. I mean, sometimes you play great and don't get rewarded, and other nights, you make a couple good plays and just kind of play average and things go well. So, as I mentioned the other day, I think, our power plays started to click recently, and, sometimes you get an extra assist here and there on the power play and kind of bleeds over into your 5-on-5 game where you feel a little bit better with the puck. But for me, I'm not trying to change anything or do anything different in my game. This year I've prided myself on trying to take, not change anything offensively, but continue to make the defensive side of the game, a priority. And as our whole team has tried to do, be a stingy, tough defensive team to play against. So doing that without, losing the offensive side has been my focus. And, it's been nice that, some pucks have been going in lately and getting some assists. But as I've always said, when you play with great players as well and you get the opportunity to play in big situations and offensive situations, you get rewarded. So like to keep it going, but, more worried about my overall game and just continue to improve as a player like our whole team is trying to do right now.
Josh, we heard that you and Mark accompanied Mr. Chipman to visit a former season ticket holder to try to encourage him to jump back into the pool, as it were. How did that meeting go? How did it come about?
Yeah, just Chipper asked if we'd come and visit a pretty cool outdoor rink setup that they've got in the city here, and that I guess former season ticket holder had, and obviously our job is to worry about wins and losses on the ice, and that's where our focus is. But at the same time, it was just an opportunity to interact with some kids and families that love the Jets, and it kind of couldn't be any more, in my view, Canadian than that. Outdoor rink across 3 front yards, and with trees in the middle of the ice and stuff. It's pretty awesome. So it was just fun to go interact with some great people, and I think that's something that I've always valued about the Jets organization, and Mr. Chipman is their commitment to the city of Winnipeg, their love for the city of Winnipeg, and I think that's just another example of him trying to get players in a situation, interact with some of the great fans, and be a part of this community. So it was a lot of fun.